So to me, long term, at least on the surface, the next guy we're going to talk about, the 4-star out of Illinois in the 2026 class, Gene Riordan, is how I will pronounce his name. But looking at the rankings on him, he's a top 300 player. He's a top 10 player in the state of Illinois. He's another offensive line commit, which this class has been heavy on offensive line commits early on. Uh, so obviously having him for what could turn out to be a 4-year career, and considering how highly he's thought of at this point and scouted, that's a huge pickup.
Huge pickup. And yeah, like you said, right now it appears that Mr. Barnett is doing pretty good on the recruiting trail. I mean, he's been a pretty good recruiter since he got here. I know that the whole Caden Proctor thing happened. I don't know that you totally blame him for that. I think most people, most Hawkeye fans, resent Proctor for what he did. But Riordan's a kid who, it's a little bit different because he's going to have to gain some weight, obviously. But he'll be a kid who will be expected to one day be a starter. And I don't know where he projects. I know he's listed on most recruiting sites as an offensive tackle, and he's already 6'5". He's a class of 26 guy, so he's got another year in high school. But yeah, I mean, you're talking Auburn, Penn State wanted him, Oklahoma, Kansas State, Illinois. So that a mix of some good schools from almost every high major conference. So yeah, I mean, credit Hinsdale is another suburb of Chicago. They've done very well in that area of the country. There's obviously a lot of talent. It's a rich area when you talk about Chicago and the outskirts of Chicago. But for a long time, I've thought, well, maybe Iowa will have to start going other places if Brett Bielema gets it going in Illinois. Brett's got it going, but I don't know if there's just enough talent there that the wealth can be spread around, or if it's just not the success of that program and Northwestern are not synonymous enough or overlap enough yet to where it makes that big of a difference. But they've done a nice job in that area of the country. So excited about him, as you said, top 100 or top 300 guy according to the 247 composite, maybe even a top 20. It looks like 247's got him as an interior guy. Like I said, Rivals has him listed as a tackle, top 15 guy overall in Illinois by 247. So the recruiting thing is sort of like the D2 thing minus the physical side. You just don't know, is this kid going to be able to? I mean, he's 275, so he's bigger than like Bryce George was coming out of high school. But assuming he fills in the way you want him to, and it doesn't affect the fundamentals, the feet, all that goes into playing, especially outside part of the line, it checks all the boxes. And I don't know him personally. That this will be someone that we'll have to reach out to and try to get him on a show as well. But yeah, they've gotten a couple of guys here in the last week that have had a nice bevy of offers nationally.
This is what jumps out to me in regards to the separation of these rankings, is that 247 Sports at 42nd on the interior, 14th rated in the state versus number 9 in the composite. So for that composite at number 21 at his position versus 42, for that jump to occur in the composite, where do Rivals and On3 have him?
So Rivals has got him, like I said, they list him as an offensive tackle, and they've got him as the 81st best tackle. So you might be able to go ahead and click on 247 Sports Composite, and it should give you, I know On3 does, but 247, does it not let you click on that? No. I can tell you here in a second.
Oh, maybe here. Let's see. No, that's going right to the top of the board.
I'll grab it from, yeah. So On3's also got him listed as an interior guy, and their industry ranking has him as a top 300 kid, top 20 interior guy, top 10 in the state of Illinois. And it looks like they've got their, I don't think they've, I can find this out here, but looks like that's all premium now. So yeah, I don't know. I'll have to watch him a little bit more. I haven't been able to talk to Coach Patterson. Every time we get an offensive line commit, every time Iowa gets a commit from the offensive line, I always send it over to him right away and say, "Hey, what can you tell me by reading between the lines?" And I don't know anything about Hinsdale. I do know it's suburban Chicago, and Iowa's been very successful there. I know this kid was highly touted, and the 26 class, yeah, I mean these two classes, you add in Bryce George out of the portal, it's one of their probably 2 or 3 most successful recruiting positions here in the last year, I'd say. Okay, so I just got the numbers. So 247's got him. All these rankings show him as an interior guy, my understanding. Although then I click on rivals. So I'll just share my screen real quick so people can see. This is On3's recruiting industry comparison. So you see his ratings by each. There's some. Like I say, I think this one is because the bottom one there, rivals, it says 81, but my understanding is they're rating him as an outside guy. So every other major service, On3, 247, and ESPN have him as a top 40 interior offensive lineman. And
well, look at On3 compared to the other ones.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know why that is.
Like I said, love him.
They've got him as the number. They've got him as the number 1 Illinois kid. That's interesting.
They've got him as the 67th best player in the country.
Yeah. Wait. What's the look at the industry. You add that in and calculate that with measuring all these other sites, and they've got them at 261 for their industry ranking. So what are the On3 guys saying that everybody else is not? They got him at 67. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Let's scroll down here. Will it let me make sure that's accurate? I'm not seeing him here. 67?
That's what it said. 67.
I'm not seeing him here.
Yeah.
Maybe this list hasn't updated since obviously once a guy commits, sometimes those rankings will change. But yeah, that's interesting.